What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius trial guide, and we're taking on the 12th Chamber of Arms battle for our weapon. We're going against a crab crustacean thing. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so here we are on the wiki page. This is where you guys can access all the information if you end up not being able to see it. But we're going to go over each of the mechanics and what's exactly going on with Alpherg. So Alpherg is going to be the trial boss, the 12th one in the Chamber of Arms. So we're getting there. Very, very nice rewards in Ragnarok, some summon tickets, and Shadow Warrior. These are all actually really good that you probably want to get your hands on. You can see that he's like this crustacean-looking creature. He's aquatic and stone type, so those killers are going to help you there. You can see that he has defense and spirit, a little bit less spirit than defense, has some attack and magic, obviously. And if we look at his elemental resist, he absorbs water, he is resist to earth, and he's also resist to the dark element. But also, before we continue, I do want to say he has some abilities that are going to cause you not to be able to do other kinds of damage as well. He has Lightning Coral, Light Coral, and then I do believe he has an ability called Fire Coral. Yeah, there it is. And what that's going to do is it's going to add that element to your physical attacks, and then also boost up his resist by 200% for 5 turns. And he honestly casts that quite a lot. So, in this fight, we're going to avoid using Fire, Lightning, Light, Dark, Earth, or Water. And I'm going with Wind, because I'm going with Tornado Chaining. You also probably want to go with a magic damage dealer, so maybe Ice or the Wind is going to help you out there. Those are going to be the two options I do believe you're going to go with, so it's going to be up to you. And you want to go with a magic damage dealer because you don't have to deal with your your weapons being imbued with those elements and not being able to do damage, alright? If we scroll on down, immune to defense and spirit break, meaning that 17 million HP is going to be tough to get through for most people because you can't break his defense or spirit, but we can break its attack and magic, which is going to be important so we don't take as much damage. It is also plus 50% to non-elements. So you are going to have to deal one of those two elements I talked about, or you're going to be dealing even less damage. It's got a lot of restrictions in there. But at the same time, it opens up your use of some of your other units that maybe have been on the bench for a little bit. If you look at what abilities this guy has in Phase 1, we have physical damage 12 times to one enemy, so he's going to hit somebody really hard to maybe a physical damage tank you're going to need. He's got AoE, both 2 different AoE physical attacks that hit pretty big. They also reduce the defense, or they reduce your attack and defense for 3 turns to everybody. He has an ability called Mucus Bubble, which is going to be water magic damage to all enemies, and going to reduce your water resist by 50%. It also will paralyze you. So first off, what we're seeing here is that we're not going to be able to just go in and AoE tank it with one tank and be okay, right? It's not just like single target magic damage with AoE physical. It's going to have both AoE physical and AoE magic, and single target magic and single target physical. So we're going to have to choose which one we're going to let the boss hit us with. Next up, we have Aquatic Tornado, water and wind magic damage. So I can tell you right now, this boss is going to be doing water and wind damage to you when it comes to magic. So as long as you have those resistances up, have somebody to buff you up, and you break that magic, you're not going to be taking too much magic damage here in the first phase. So you're going to be okay to go ahead and use an AoE physical tank. That's what I'm going to be doing in my video that I'm going to show you guys here in a minute. As long as you have, again, your water and your wind resist up, you're going to be taking minimal damage when you break. Do not forget you need to at least paralyze resist so far. I would put all resistances on. I always have them all on, but just in case, paralyze is what we've seen so far. We have an ability called Bubble Squish, which is going to go to one enemy. It's going to be magic 5 times. It's going to be fixed damage, and it's going to reduce your spirit by 50%. So having something that has break resist is going to help you take less damage from the boss because it keeps trying to break you. Okay. We also have this ability here, magic damage 10 times to all enemies, and that is not going to be element. And it's going to reduce your magic and spirit by 50% for 3 turns. So, again, this boss does a lot of damage, but if we break it, if we get our buffs up, if we are building up our resist, our mitigation, we're going to be okay and be able to get through it. And next up, it has an ability that's really annoying called Shell Retreat, okay? It's going to mitigate physical and magic damage 99% for 1 turn. So there are going to be turns where I call them off turns, where your damage healers are not going to be dealing damage. They can't, because it's gone into its shell, even though it still beats your ass, and you can't do damage to it, so there's that. Moving on, we do have Fire, Lightning, and Coral, Light Coral again. That's going to put up his resist to those elements and imbue those elements on you. That is why taking physical damage in this fight is a little bit more rough. You can try to wait out the turns and then do damage, but you're waiting out 5 turns. Kind of skip over that. Get into your magic damage healers and give them a chance to shine here. If we look at his attack pattern, honestly, he's going to be using all these different abilities. We do have thresholds at 90, 70, and then 50%. Essentially for this 90% and 70%, as long as you have your team built the way I'm going to build mine, where you have a nice, you can either have an evade or a non-evade, but evade's going to work better for you. Physical tank, you have those resistances up to wind and water. You have some damage mitigation. You've broken the boss. These thresholds aren't going to matter too much, but what they do is make him shell retreat, so you're going to have turns off where you can't be dealing damage. That's the big one here, shell retreat. All these other abilities are going to be happening, but as long as, again, like I said, you're set up, you're going to be fine. It's the 50% health one that you're going to have to worry about, okay? Because after 50%, it is going to transform. Whoa, it's going to turn into that thing. And it's a little bit more scary, a little bit more weird looking. But when that happens, it's kind of rough. One of the ways you can deal with that is put an AoE re-raise on everyone. So that's one of the aspects. Another thing you can do is, what you should do actually, is make sure you have AoE stop resist when you push this. From now on, from the 50% threshold on, you are going to want stop resist up, because the boss can randomly put stop on everyone, and that's going to be troublesome. We have lots of ways to do that, but Lakshmi is the one that everybody has access to. AoE stop resist, make sure you're casting that with someone. You also want to switch from being an AoE physical tank to a single target physical tank, and then have an AoE magic cover tank in there for the 50% threshold push. So again, we do have a lot of preparation before pushing into this 50% threshold. Stop resist up on everybody. AoE magic cover tank. Re-raise if you have it. Single target tank, physical tank. It goes from AoE to single target. And then again, just have all your buffs and damage mitigation and push through this phase and make it through. Once we get through that phase, we still have the nasty stuff, physical damage, but it's kind of a lot less, you know. Insanely mad, that's pretty big, but again, we break him, we do what we can to make it through. We get a little bit more magic damage happening here, as you can see. You want your magic cover tank to have 100 resist to water at least. So you want 100% resist to water, that way they're avoiding these water abilities that are going to be hitting them, but there are a lot of non-elemental magic that's hitting you. So you want to get a lot of water resist, and then you also want a lot of HP and spirit, the best that you can do. You can see there that Super Hydraulics is the one that's going to do 50% HP. It's fixed to all of us, so taking our damage, our HP down to 50%, and then inflicting stop 100%. So we need to be careful of that. Poison and disease, you know, they can happen to us. They suck, but it's not as big of a deal as stop and paralyze is. So you want to make sure, as we saw up here, the paralyze resist is there as well. So stop and paralyze is just very important. We have an ability called Bite Down, which sucks. 150% HP damage to one enemy, pretty much almost not one shot your physical tank. And then we have Stone Breath, so we need Petrify. So the three for sure things you need in this fight is a stop AoE resist after you get after 50%, and you need to have stone and paralyze resist to move forward here with this fight. So make sure that's going on with your team. Then after you push through 50%, guys, honestly, as long as you have those things up, I'm telling you, be healing, be putting up buffs, be breaking, do the same thing you were doing, do your best job to beat the boss down and get it done. Okay, and if we look at the actual missions that we have to do for this fight, which I want to talk about here, complete the quest, we get it. If we beat it within 30 turns, we're going to get 2 summon tickets. If we deal ice, wind, earth, dark damage 2 times or more, we get a 5-star trust Moogle. We have to evoke Ramu and then Titan to get the Shadow Warrior. Most of these you're going to want to do when the boss is in this stage. Honestly, as long as you're breaking, keeping your buffs up, this stage really isn't that big of a deal. And so you want to evoke Ramu and Titan when you can. Probably switch somebody in with Ramu, because Ramu is going to put you down on the whole water resist. So that's going to kind of be somebody comes in and summons, then either dies or goes away. That's going to be like a throwaway unit. Then we're going to summon Titan there as well. So overall, guys, that's the fight. That's what you need to prepare for it. I hope I explained it pretty well to you guys. I know it was kind of quick, but now we're going to get into my team comp and go in and take on this crab ourselves. All right, guys, so here's my squad that I'm going to be taking into this boss fight. We have Wilhelm, who's going to be our tank. He has Titan, so we can summon Titan. And essentially, I just have him with as much HP defense as I can. Get him, you know, as high up there as possible, because he's going to be the one taking these big hits from the boss, the big physical hits. And then again, I have my Myra, which I am in love with. She's going to be there for the whole buffing and P regeneration if I need it, giving us back our health, etc. Just things that your healer support would do. Next up, we have Orin, who is going to be my breaker. He is literally just here to break and get out of the party. Break and get out of the party. He's not doing much else, but this is his build right here. On the stream, I forgot to have Legendary Guardian on him, and his breaks weren't working. So make sure you have his TMR, or his ultimate, or his limit burst is not going to be breaking. So make sure you look into that. Next up, we have Barbarisia. She is going to be my main damage dealer with the Tornado Erosia finisher. However, you guys can use whoever you want in this fight. As long as it does ice or wind damage, you're going to be safe. So, Christine, etc., anybody you guys want to take in here. But this is the build that I have on her currently. Something you guys can, you know, work on to get if you would like. Next up, we're going to have CG Nickel. The reason being is damage mitigation and the water buff. He's going to be able to do both of those with some mana, some buffing if we need. He's going to be there for those reasons, and that's why I have him here, ready to go. Next up, we have Awakened Rain. Now, Awakened Rain is going to be coming in to do that whole AoE cover for magic when we get to 50%. Also, he has stop resist, which is going to help us out quite a bit. We can see that we do have him up, almost all elemental resist up. That's the cool build with him if you can get there very, very well. But hey, you do what you can. And then we have Renoa is going to be our chaining partner for tornado chaining. Can really pretty much be anybody you guys want it to be. I'm going to be using Renoa because I haven't gotten the user yet and I really like the character. And then we have Hyo for absolutely no reason. We have Yuna to come in and do a summon if we need. And then we have Orlandu there for absolutely no reason as well. One of the things I do want to point out is I need to have Lakshmi on someone. That's very important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go here and throw Lakshmi on and make sure you have that stop resist AoE just in case you need to cast it and maybe your Awakened Rain is busy or something. So now that I've shown you my team comp, build yours up and then let's get into the fight and see how I got it done. All right, guys, so we're getting into the fight now. And guys, something I didn't mention earlier is if you use physical attacks, he is going to counter you. The boss, Alpherg, is going to take you down with some counters. As I didn't hit that hard once you get everything going, but that's another reason why. They just really wanted this attack to be magic-based. They wanted you to be using magic-based attackers. So first we're going to AoE physical cover, then we're going to get Myra's playlist stuff going on. We're going to use intro, and then we're going to use album cover. Now, our defense and spirit non-breakability is going to fall off with our certain strategy we're using here, but that's okay. We end up living through it anyway. Next up, we're going to use Entrust the Future, which is going to be the break and the buff. Barbarisia is going to use her ability that's going to lower wind resist for us, which is going to be great because that's the damage we're trying to do. It's going to be 120% in peril, I do believe, which is insane. CG Nickel is going to be using an Impregnable Stance. I know he has a seed that does more mitigation, but I'm going to hold that off until we hit that 50% threshold, and then we're going to put up our water resist to help us live through those water attacks. So there we go. Now, on this first turn, you're going to see him do all the coral attacks, which sucks, but that's why you don't use physical, because he's going to put up himself 200% to all of those elements and imbue that all in your physical attacks, which is rough. And then he's also going to go hide in his shell, so we're not going to be able to deal damage this turn. So up next, what I want to go ahead and do is I am going to take this time to throw Yuna in. This isn't a damage-dealing turn, strictly speaking, because you know, he's in his shell. If we hold over top of him, we can see that he has boost, resist to physical and magic attacks, so we're not worried about that too much. So we're going to go ahead and go down, and we are going to cast the ability right here that says Heart of Faith. We're going to go ahead and cast that. It's we don't really need our HP up, but we do need our Evo bar up, so that's what we're going to do. Then we're going to go with Playlist. We're going to go with Interlude on everyone here, and then we're going to cast... we're going to go ahead and cast Fighting to give ourselves a barrier so we can take a little bit less HP damage. Barbarisia is going to take this time to use the ability Rainbow Whip. If you guys have this is amazing for any of these elemental things. So that's going to be great. We're going to do the same thing we did last turn because Yuna does not have the water buff, nor does she have the Impregnable Stance. And then we do want our physical tank to be doing Impregnable to try to pull every attack he can on him. So we're going to go ahead and hit it up like this. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, so here we go. Let's see what happens. Big Scissors! Taking a little bit of damage, but again, with the breaks, the damage mitigation, we're good to go. It's not that big of a deal. A lot of single target. That's why you got to make sure you provoke here. A lot of single target. Have them ready to go. We are getting physical resisted here. Resist. But we're good to go. Next up, we're going to be using... we're going to swap in Renoa because this is going to be a damage dealing turn. So Renoa's going to come in. Myra is going to be using her outro ability, which is great, right? So we're going to be using outro. That's our big ability, and we're going to be doing that every other turn, which is awesome. And then we're going to do an intro so we can do that every other turn. CG Nickel is going to take this time to also do the same thing he just did. That way that water resistance on everyone and that mitigation's on everyone because we keep swapping in different characters. Next up, Wilhelm is going to take this time to... He doesn't have to cover, so he's going to take this time to put up everybody's LB fill rate just in case we need it. Barbarisia is going to use Tornado and Raging Wind. And then Renoa is going to use our triple cast Tornado because it's her first turn, so she can do that. So we're going to go with Tornado, Tornado, Tornado. And damage. See how much damage we can do here. There we go. Push past the threshold, which is great. Pretty much the thresholds, again, just means that it retreats into its shell. It's going to cast all the same abilities again. We are going to take a little bit of damage, but not too much. Thanks to that Myra barrier. Myra! You're my girl. Okay, next up, we do need to break again. We have been a while since a break, so we're going to go ahead and move in Orin here. And these are the turns if we're using Myra and then maybe a breaker with our LB, which most top tier breakers are. This is the turn you want to do it because we have the ability this turn to not only cast Interlude and keep our songs going, but also cast For You and give that unit their LB, meaning that the target is broken quite a lot more. And we're also getting a Wind Imperil right here, which is great. Next up, Barbarissa is going to continue to be building up the Raging Wind, so we're going to do that. We're not dealing much damage because, again, if we click on the boss here, it is resist, it is in its shell, but we're using it as a way to build up our stack so we can do that later. CG Nickel really has nothing else to do with the same thing he's done every turn. Just in case we need an MP, I guess he could be doing that instead of the Impregnable stance, but hey, that's what we're getting done here. And then our Wilhelm does. It's time for our physical tank to do the AoE cover and get that ready to go. So here we are. Big scissors, dude. Big scissors, bros. Be careful of them big scissors. So, essentially, our defense and spirit, with this build, the way I'm doing it, and the way I like to use Meyer, we are going to get our defense and spirit broken by the boss, but I know I have a lot of STMRs, I know I have 7-star units, so I'm able to fight through that and not really take that much damage. You may have problems with that. If you do, possibly use a unit that can have the 100% break resist up all the time, maybe like Folka, makes it a little bit easier, but I do like the way Myra is in here doing damage. We're going to bring Yuna back in. We're not here to do damage just yet. We're here to summon some Espers. It is a damage dealing turn if we wanted it to be, as you can see. We're not too worried about that right now. So Myra's going to go ahead and use the outro ability, and then the intro ability, keep that going the way we have been. Doesn't really change too much. Wilhelm is going to use Impregnable, get that resist going back on, or that provoke, excuse me. We're going to do this, and we're going to do Raging Wind, Raging Wind. We're going to use Nickel to do the same thing. Boop. Bada bing, bada boom. These are important, though. The damage mitigation is so important here. And then Yuna is going to go ahead and use... let's see, where's her ability? Prayer to the Aeon, so we can put up our Esper gauge. So the next turn, if we would like, we can have Wilhelm go ahead and do what he needs to do. We're still doing so much damage just with Barb. So it kind of was a damage dealing turn, I guess, because Barb can still do all that damage with Raging Wind or a built-up Erosia, especially with the Imperil that's coming from Orin. So that's pretty great. Moving on through here, this is the turn where Wilhelm is going to have a turn off. We're going to use Titan here. This is going to be our Evoke of Titan, which is going to be great. Go ahead and swap out. We're going to bring Orin in. This is the off turn, so we want to get that LB going, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's just make sure. I love to make sure, even though I'm talking a lot. So we have our increased chance of being targeted, and we have our AoE cover, so that means we can summon an Esper. So we're going to get Titan done right now. Myra's going to go ahead. I love those eyes back there. Hey, what's up? It's me, Titan. We're going to do Interlude, and then we're going to go with a For You. Now, this is going to get us all the way up because we did not chain the last turn. But it's going to get us started. Once we start chaining, we're going to be able to do that. If I was not to bring Yuna in, and I didn't care about the Esper fight, the chaining between Tornadoes and the Raging Winds or Erosia finisher would fill up Myra's LB gauge, so I could keep doing this. But for now, we're pretty good with just doing the double break of attack and magic, okay? Now, this is going to be, we are going to get hit by a little bit of physical here. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go and throw up a Peace Shield, just to be safe, you know? Peace Shield goes on. That is from Pod. Go ahead and do that. We're going to break. Boom, boom. And then we're going to go ahead and hit him with double Raging Wind. That way we can keep doing damage and keep pushing him. However, he is in his shell because we push a threshold, so we're not doing that much damage. Big scissors, dude, coming in. All right, doing just fine. Making it through, slowly making it. We just have to get another Esper Evoke before we push him, because you do... See how easy it is to kind of control the boss here? You do want to push... before you push the 50% when it gets kind of crazy, you do want to get all of your achievements in. That's what I would do, your missions. It's very important in my opinion. Go ahead, Wilhelm, get down with your bad self, dude. Give me some Esper Orbs. I like it. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and swap in Yuna so we can go ahead and start working towards that Esper. We're going to hit confirm. So we're going to go down to her abilities, and we're going to do Prayer to the Aeons again. Wilhelm now is going to take this time to AoE cover. Myra, what turn are you on, girl? She reminds me. Outro turn. Yay, it's a big turn. We're going to use that, and we're going to use intro on everybody. Get that big buff going. We're going to use... got to get that water resist back up. We got to get that damage mitigation back up. And then we are going to do a bit of damage here with Raging Wind. Again, you want to be careful not to push him past the threshold too early. So you don't want to go past that 50% threshold. That's very important here. Until we summon that last Esper. Woo! Some damage coming in. Oh, Yuna. Close. Yuna doesn't have anything on. I know what you're thinking. Put stuff on Yuna, you idiot. You're right. You're right, dude. You're totally right. That's what I should be doing. So now we're going to go ahead and put Orin back in. This is strictly speaking because I want to get that break on. This is the 4U turn, I do believe. So let's see. So playlist, interlude, 4U, going on Orin. Feels good, man. He's really close to the LB anyway, but hey, why not? Orin's going to use his LB. I think I'm going to do it after Barb casts a Raging Wind. Now, again, I don't want to push it too fast, so I'm just going to cast one Raging Wind here. Do absolutely nothing. Did we push a threshold? Okay, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So, again, check the boss. I know I'm doing a lot of stuff, but check the boss before you're like, I'm doing a lot of damage! Because if it's in a shell after a threshold, you're going to do absolutely nothing, so be careful of that. So here we go. We're going to be breaking the boss and imperiling it. Nickel's going to get his same abilities on that he's been doing the whole fight. Boom, boom. They're right next to each other, making it easy. And then Wilhelm is going to do a provoke, which is going to be great for us. We're really close to the Esper Orbs. I'm hoping we get them sometime soon. The next time we use Yuna, which is going to be this turn, we are going to get really close. You guys like the music being on during the trial boss fights? I turned it back on. I don't know how loud it is for you guys. It sounds pretty good for me. I don't want it to overtake my voice, so that's why it's pretty low. But, you know, the music in this game is fantastic if you actually take time to listen to it. So we're going to bring Yuna back in. This would normally be a damage dealing turn, I do believe. Let's check the boss. But we haven't summoned our Espers yet, so... Yep. Let me check and make sure that I've done it. Ramu and Titan, so we got to get Ramu in there, but that's going to be for Yuna to do on her own. So we're going to take this time to go ahead and cast, let's see. Where is it at? Sure, there it is. Boom. Cast that up. Almost there, which is great. We're getting close. We're going to use the same abilities we have, like that. Next up, Myra is going to do outro, intro. So outro, intro on the squad. And then, let's see. Wilhelm, what do you want to do, bud? What is there for Wilhelm to do? He can do whatever he wants, I think. Pretty much is free this turn. Yep. He can do whatever he wants. So I'm going to go ahead and use his Great Wall here to defend a little bit more. I am a little bit worried about Yuna's health. Maybe I should have put stuff on her. she needs to just survive one more turn. So hopefully she does. So be careful here. I might just put up our wind resist, to be honest. Let's see. Where's it at? She has an ability. Ooh, we can gradually regenerate HP here. Huh. Let's do that. Let's do Refreshing Winds. Give Yuna back some HP. There we go. Should be fine, especially with that barrier. Yep. We probably were fine with just the barrier, but let's be safe. You know, we don't even want to be pushing this guy yet. We're not quite there yet. Wilhelm, give me that last Esper Orb I need. Give it to me, baby. Come on, Wilhelm. No! Dang it. He's resisting us. That's a feels bad, man. Next turn he'll probably get it. But anyway, we have to swap out for Orin. We don't have to, but I'm going to. That's how I'm going to keep the rotation going. Orin's going to have to use normal breaks here. So we're going to go with Interlude on the squad. And then, you know, because Orin has to use normal breaks here, I'm not going to cast for you. I'm going to go ahead and cast Album Cover. That's going to give us some Defense and Spirit break resistances, so when they finally fall off, or I get CG Nickel's Limit Burst, that way I have it up for a little bit. Maybe when I'm pushing that threshold, it'll make me a little bit more safe. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to have Orin use the double break here, which is going to be the magic and attack, because that's the only thing you can break. Wilhelm, I do believe this is your turn to AoE cover, bud. Let me make sure. What you been up to, bud? Yep, you got an AoE cover. Look at all those things that are going on. Wow, dude. Wow, dude. He still doesn't even have stop resist, though. That's tough. So we're going to go with Link Stance, Impregnable Stance, the water. Boom, boom. And then Barb is going to cast one Raging Wind because I don't want to be getting too crazy just in case we push the threshold. Woo, that was close. All right, next time we use that, threshold is being crossed, by the way. So now we need to prepare for that turn. We're not going to be bringing Renault in anymore. Renault is not necessary in this fight anymore. If we decide we're trying to kill it, yeah, we can bring Renault in. It'll be fine. But for now, Barbarisi is going to be doing enough damage to get the job done. Dun, 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 dun. So we didn't get the Esper Orb up. I don't know how. Come on, man. Oh, okay, so this is the non-damage dealing turn anyway. So we're going to bring Yuna in. Come on, Yuna. Come back in. Thank you. You are now going to cast... let's see. Prayer of the Aeons again. Woohoo! Maybe Barbaricia will just pop one of those things out. Let's just do one Raging Wind here. Right? Because it is resist. It's not going to push it, right? It's resistance. I read it. No, it was LV Crystal, man. That would have been sick if that was the other one. But we're going to go ahead and have Yuna fill up that thing. Yuna is the one with Ramu, so we are going to have to wait on that. Probably best maybe not to put... Yeah, you have to. I think it's actually smart to do that. That's fine. going with outro here to buff us all up, and then going back into intro should be fine. Nickel is going to start preparing us for when we push the threshold. So we're going to be pushing the threshold, not next turn, I do believe, but the turn after. So the turn after is when we're going to be pushing the threshold. So we need to start preparing for that. And the way I'm going to prepare for that is I'm going to do absolutely nothing this turn. We'll do it next turn. So we're going to go with this. Well, let me see. No, we're going to do it this turn, because we're going to switch out Nickel next turn, I do believe. Yeah. So we actually are going to do it this turn. My bad. So we're going to go with Link Stance. We're going to go with the give everybody damage mitigation, the higher up one. And then we're also going to give our water resist here again. And then Willie is going to provoke, because that's going to be important. So here we go. And I'll explain what the heck I was just thinking about in a minute. A lot of stuff going on. So, a lot of damage happening here. Honestly, I actually want to wait another turn. So I kind of wasted that mitigation, but it's okay. We won't actually need it. It would be nice to have it, but... Let's see, is this a 4U turn? Let me think. We might actually be waiting quite a bit of turns. We do need to kill him before 30 turns, though. But I don't think we'll have a problem with that. Maybe just summon Ramuh here? Or do we... I think we're going to get the better breaks in. We're going to be safe. We're going to get the better breaks in. Let's go here. Orin is going to do nothing yet because we are going to get the better breaks in. So we're going to go ahead and go with Interlude on the squad along with 4U. Where's it at? Right here on the Orin. Fill him up all the way. Go ahead and use Tornado now. Break him down. Barb is not doing anything because she will push the threshold. Wilhelm is going to go ahead and get this. Ooh, I don't want to put the cover up. We're going to do another Impregnable, I think. I know it's back-to-back Impregnables, but we don't want him really covering when it's time to push the threshold anyway. So we're going to do that. Barb is defending, and Strategist Nickel, I'm going to take the time to go ahead and put up a P-Shield. So there we go. Let's see what happens this turn. The next turn we're summoning Ramuh, and then the next turn I think we're pushing. So that's going to be important here. Bubble Squish. This fight is actually really good, guys. I enjoyed it. It makes you think a lot. At least, especially with the team I'm using. I know it might seem pretty simple, but if you mess up, it's bad news. So we're gonna go ahead. It's time for CG Nickel to sit the bench. Yuna's gonna come in real quick, and she's gonna be summoning Ramuh for us. Actually, I don't know if it's time for that yet. I don't want to do that. I don't like that. CG Nickel, you're coming back in. Because what I want to do is make sure I have my stop resist on Orin, so that's going to be important. So we're going to wait a turn before we start messing around with stop resistances. So Ramuh's going to be summoned here, so we can get our Esper finish in. We're going to go with Myra, and Myra should be on outro turn. Yep. Outro, intro. Let's see here. Nickel is going to cast the water resist. Where's it at? And the Impregnable. So we go like that. Wilhelm is going to cast... Wilhelm, is your AoE cover down? Are we going to have to... Yep, so we're going to have to AoE cover or we're going to die. So we're just going to go ahead and do that because our turns have been off. And then Barb is going to defend again. At least we got our Espers and our... we have pretty much all of our missions out of the way. So we're good there. Now it's time to push him. Now it's time to get done. We're going to push him in 2 turns, though. Stop beating me up, you jerk! Okay. Poor Wilhelm, dude. Did he go back into his shell? Let me see. Or is it because, like, does the Moogle thing have light on it? That's probably what it is. Oh, no, his physical attacks are getting imbued. That's why he's getting resist. His physical attacks are getting imbued. Duh. So we're going to go with Swap. We're going to bring A-Rain in for him. We're going to bring in Orin for her. And then we're going to get ready to prepare for our pushing of the threshold. So for this turn, what we're going to do is we're going to use Purification with Awaken Rain. That's going to give us all stop resistances, so that's going to be great. Next up, Myra is going to take this time to 4U. We're going to go with Playlist. Actually, hold on. Interlude. We can't 4U and give all the Limit Burst back yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do Album Cover. Give Awaken Rain that Spirit Break and that Defense Break resist. We're going to go Impregnable here. And we're not pushing yet because we need AoE cover with Awaken Rain, and I do want to cast my Re-Rage just in case. Orin's going to do his normal break, I guess, then. So he's going to go with Attack and Magic Break, and then Barb is again defending. We did get a little bit of the counter hitting us, but again, it's kind of not that big of a deal, I guess, because we have it so broken and we have our defenses up so much. It looks like it tickles a bit, honestly. Bubble Squish! Alright, Barb, what I'm going to need you to do is get in there and... Push this boss 4% damage. That'd be nice. Thing is your resistance still down to wind? Yes, good. So before we do our turn, what I want to do is just go ahead and do double Raging Wind and see if let's see here. Does Orin have his other breakup? He does. So we're going to go ahead and use Entrust the Future to get a buff going on and break him down. I'm going to use this right now to see if we push, which we should. Ooh, it's close. That better be enough. 50%. That better be enough. It better not be 49%. It doesn't matter. Either way, the same things are going down this turn. We're going to Energy Wall here. We're going to Provoke here. And then we're also going to AoE re-raise this turn just to be safe. So we're going to Life Concert. That's going to give us an HP and MP regen every turn as well. Let's see what happens. Is he angry? Or is he just going to do... Yes! Okay. We pushed it. That was actually closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought we'd get down to the 49% hard lock. We did not. So here comes this big 50% threshold turn. As long as you do exactly what I said, you won't be getting stopped. You want to keep your stop resist up. And we made it through. We did well. We did well here. Nice. Next up, Barbarisia is going to just be casting double Raging Winds. That's going to be great for us. Awaken Rain, what can you do, friend? Doesn't look like you have Purification up yet, so we're going to need to cast that off cooldown. So Energy Wall is where he's going to be going. Myra needs to get her dancing going on again. Let's see, where are we at right now with Orin? I think she can give Orin his LB, so that's what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with Playlist for you on Orin, and then I'm also going to cast Intro. That way we get our dances going back on so we can get our buffs. So we're going to do that. We also have AoE re-raise on everybody just in case something bad happens. Your physical tank at this point, this is the point in the fight where your physical tank is only provoking, and then you have an AoE magic, cover. So that's what's going to be happening there. And you want to stop resist up at all times. Be careful. And you have stone and paralyze resist from what we talked about. We are going to be using tornado to break the boss down the best we can. And then we're going to be using the Raging Wind to be dealing, hopefully, some good amount of damage. So that wasn't too bad. 43%. Here we go. All right, boss. Bite down. That's a tough one. I love how the music changes. It's like, oh, it's like, you know, it's pretty good. All right, we made it through. That bite down really does hurt, though, so we're going to need to get some heals in. Good thing we have Interlude coming up. That's going to give us some heals. Plus, I do believe we still have our other ability happening. So now what we want to go ahead and do is do Purification. We want to make sure everybody is Stop Resist. We're going to reload on a lot of this, to be honest. Myra is not reloading. Actually, only one of them is getting reloaded. Playlist, we're going to do Interlude. And then we're going to go with a... I don't think we're doing For You right now, so what we're going to do instead is we're going to do the album cover. Seems fine to me. So we're going to do that. Wilhelm, he's already provoked. So let's see where he's at right now. He's got Provoke one, right? All right, just LB, dude, just to be safe. Give us an LB. Orin does absolutely nothing. He just sits there, and then Barbarisia does the damage. Boom. Boom. All right, we're getting there, slowly but surely. We could have taken that time to bring Renoa in. Honestly, we could have taken... Actually, that was a turn we probably should have brought Renoa in. I think I'm going to bring Renoa in this turn. Why not, you know? Why not? She's not going to have Stop Resist, though, so it's going to be like one turn where she can do her thing. But still, why not, dude? Bring Renoa in. So we're going to bring Renoa in. Why not? I keep saying why not because I keep asking myself. Seriously, why am I doing this? She's probably going to get stopped, but at least she gets in there for one turn. That's okay. We need to make sure we have our magic cover up. We have our Provoke going on, which is right here in Impregnable. Next up, we have Myra casting Outro. That way we get as much damage as possible, because we are getting that big buff. And then we're also going to cast Intro, so we keep that going. Renoa is going to cast double the Whirlwind. And this is going to help us with getting Orin's LB next turn, too. So that's pretty smart. Go ahead and get that going. We're going to Tornado into Raging Wind, and this should be a lot of damage here, I would think. As long as we chain it right, which I think we did. Boom! I like it, dude. 29% threshold, baby! Here comes the big deeps! That's going to stop her. It's got to stop her, right? Oh, Awaken Rain went down. That is not good. Look at Awaken Rain. He's dead. But, you know what's cool about Myra is we can keep this going. So we're going to go ahead and pull in Orin here. Man, that hits hard, dude. Maybe I should have, like that. Oh, my gosh, that hit hard. So the 29% threshold, be careful. Because as you can see, it killed my Awaken Rain. My Awaken Rain is powerful. So be careful about that. I'm going to move up here, go to confirm. We're going to bring our Awaken Rain back. This is going to be a kind of a scary turn, but it's, hey, we got to do what we got to do. He's not going to have Stop Resist either, which sucks. But we did make a mistake there by not having enough knowledge of the fight that Awakened Rain would die there, or at least he wasn't buffed up enough. We didn't have damage mitigation. Possibly instead of bringing in Renoa to do damage, maybe we bring in CG Nickel for the damage mitigation first and then go from there. That was definitely a mistake on my part. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to cast our Raise. So it's going to be behind the scenes. We're going to bring Awakened Rain back, and then we're going to go ahead and use, where is it at? Interlude to give everybody back, you know, to keep the dance going and stuff like that. So here we go. He's back. Wilhelm is going to use this to cover everybody up. Orin is going to do 2 breaks, which is going to be attack and magic because he can't use his LB, and I do believe his cooldown definitely is still on cooldown. Yeah, 4 turns. So we're going to do that. We're going to do this, and then Barb is going to do double. See, dual black magic cast, double raging wind. See how much damage we can get in here. Boom, boom, 19%. All right, dude, we just got to live it through here. Oof, tough. Tough because we didn't have that magic cover tank on. Orin is down, but again, Myra can still get us back up into this. It ain't over till it's over, chat. So Myra's going to take the time. We do need stop resist up. This is kind of getting rough because we allowed Awakened Rain to die. Remember, that is not good. Do not let your magic tank die. Have a re-raise or something on him. And then we're going to cast Outro on the squad. So we're bringing Orin back to life. Outro on the squad seems smart, seems good, seems like the thing I want to be doing now. Just making sure that's what I want to do. Man, Barb is close to going down as well. I think this is the play though. All right, let's do it. We do get that barrier. This isn't the hill. Interlude is the hill, so that'll be next turn we can do the interlude. Oh, actually we can't because we have to start with Outro again. We may have to be going into the white magic of our Myra here to save us. We do need to put purification up for the stop resist because getting stopped at this point would be absolutely terrible. And then we're going to reload with Barb. Actually, I don't want to reload just in case I didn't do the right thing last turn. We're going to do double raging wind. We're biting our nails here, chat. We're getting towards the end of this. 6%. Come on, Barb. Do it for me. Live. Oh, that's going to... Oh, he covered her. Awakened Rain covered her. Live, Barb. That is a poggers. No. No, Barb, no. No, Barb, no. Awakened Rain, you beast. I love you. Awakened Rain saved us there. Again, if Myra lives, though, Myra can bring the team back and we can keep going at it and keep trying. I do believe we are going to be able to kill with Barb, though, now and in this fight, which is incredible. I love when fights don't go exactly as planned. It's cool. So, yeah, we've done everything we need to do. We're going to go ahead and have Barb get in there and use Raging Wind twice. Should be good. And we beat the boss. Yes! Yes! It was close, dude. We almost lost it there. But, hey, that's fun. That's what's fun about this game. The trials are fun. Goomy Square Enix. More trials. 2-3 a month. You know what I mean? I know most people are like, I went in there and beat it super easy and dabbed on it and beat it in 20 minutes, which is, I think is about the time we took to beat it. But still, I think that 20 minutes is super fun. That's what makes the game worth it. I love trials. Love them, love them to death. So, guys, made some mistakes. Allowed my Awakened Rain to die at that 29% threshold, but, or at least the 29%, that's where he died. Took a big hit, big strong hit there. So it got a little bit dicey, but we ended up recovering anyway. I guess it's the power of 7 stars, huh? So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how you took down this boss. And if you listen to Crab Rave while you did it, and then subscribe for future content, we'll catch you guys in the next video.